January 2nd, 2026. And I have here two Walthers Proto EMD E8-As. The first one is number 6202. Second one is 6210. And I mostly have 18-inch radius curves. I keep reminding people of that when I'm making videos. These were slated that they would run on 18-inch radius curves. However, I was not able to make them run successfully right out of the box. I had to make some adjustments. And what I found out that worked best is, and I don't know if this is by design or not, I'm not even sure what they were called, but on the trucks on one side of both locomotives are these little, they could be sand pipes. I'm not sure. I've cut this one. I've cut them off. That was a solution. But right there you can kind of see it's been snipped. I'll try to point it out. Right here. These were coming up and they go straight up typically. And they actually are a little bit higher than the truck, and they're actually a little higher than the lower front part of the shell. And so that was causing derailments. And in both of them, and the interesting thing is they show up, there's three, and they're tied to the caps of the wheels. And there's three per truck, but only on the left-hand side of the locomotive, the engineer's side. And they don't appear on the right-hand side. So first I was able to take two of them off of one truck, and then the third one I discovered was actually glued, and then the rest of them appear to be mostly glued as well. So I went back and I did have them off, and that allowed 6910, that's the one that I did it on first, to navigate my 18-inch radius curves. So I then applied that to 6902, except by the time I got to 6902, I decided to put the hubcaps back on, and these little sand pipes, I'm going to call them, they may not be the sanding pipes, you know, whatever they are, the truck is catching on the shell in a turn, which prevents it from staying on the track. It guides the truck right off the track. So I just decided to snip them just below the top edges of the truck. And then I put all six of them back on each locomotive. And that worked, except for on 6902, I think it is. Nope, on 6910, and it's on the opposite side, so you can't see it. On 6910, for whatever reason, that same whole little cap cover that has that little looping pipe that sits upward, right about the hubcap was also hitting the inside of the stair, also causing it to derail. So for that one, I actually had to take that one off. And that's the only one that's completely off. Everything else works. So I've run them. One of them is a little faster than the other. 6902 appears to be just a slight bit faster than 6910. And that was when I was running them both in the same direction. And it remains that way whether they're moving forward or backwards. 6902 still appears to be a little faster than 6910. So for the first time, I made them back to back, and I MU'd them to one MU number on my MRG Prodigy Advance, and I made them number 6 since they both start with 6902. Now, of course, I can't control all of the individual functions when they're MU'd, but I can get F8's mute and start up to work, or at least the mute and shutdown works. I'm about to try the startup for the first time. So these were provided as a gift to me. I had an interest in buying them, and at the time someone called me, a good friend of mine, and I was just about to pull the trigger on them just before Christmas, and he said, no, give him my credit card. So I do appreciate that, and they arrived, and like I said, I've tested them. So this will be the first full run, and although I probably have videos of at least 15 to 20 minutes of them, I'm going to try to record a video of them now, running in this direction. Now, I've only made one loop with them back to back as a test, and that ran fine until it got over there in the corner right there and came up the incline a little bit, and they separated. So we will have to see if they remain together. If they remain together, the idea is to then try to connect them to these passenger cars. And I've put 4 passenger cars on, but I have as many as 12 passenger cars in the Crescent Limited paint scheme. So I want to first see if it will operate them and pull them around the top layer of my loop without having any issues. And if that occurs, then I will dangerously try to go downtown, okay, down to the lower loop, run around a time or two there, see if that works, and then if so, come back up to the top loop, okay? If for whatever reason they separate, then I may elect not to try to continue them consistent in at least the back-to-back configuration. I may try to turn 6910 around and then see if it's possible to keep them consistent in that manner. So we'll see what happens. So here we go. And when I get to the point where I'm configuring the items, I'm going to pause it. I am going to turn the sound on. So we're going to start with that, an F8 press. So it did start both of them. And they have a very nice, extremely low speed creep. Now, I cannot blow the horn from the console, but from the individual numbers, I can blow one of them. We'll try to do them both at the same time with my 2 fingers. So let's see if I can get them close enough together to pull that off. So I'm going to try them both together and we'll see. So that seemed to work. There's one speed step. It didn't move yet. 2 speed steps. And we get started. And as you can see, I have them very, very close to the front baggage car there. But like I said, I went around once, and they made it around there once without hitting it. And I have them separated here, or I haven't put any other cars on there yet, because I do want to try to go downtown once before connecting them. So that's 8 speed steps at the moment. So let's see what happens. And just as they were clearing the top of this small loop is where they came apart last time. And looks like they are staying together at the moment. Yes, they are. So we'll let it go around once like this. And I'm going to go ahead and turn and open up that turnout. And I don't know that it allows me to control my lighting separately either. So it does not allow that. And these are consistent. I will try it from the assist. It did turn the light on there. And it turned the light on here. So both lights are now lit. Okay, they still look like they're together to me from here. And we will start our descent. And we cleared that without hitting it. Oh. That looks like it might be a little derailed. It is, but it fixed itself. You may have seen it. And again, most of the curves are 18-inch radius curves. The only 4 curves on here that are not 18-inch radius are this one, this one, this one, and that one. And this is the famous Libraryville layout that I did quite some years ago. So now, I did not intend for it to come back up. I just didn't pay attention to it. So I am going to stop it for a moment. We'll try this route a little later after I've put some cars on it. Now, in my opinion, these are the later Walthers Proto, some of the latest editions. They are not as heavy as some of the original lifelike Proto 2000 locomotives. However, I did notice during one of my tests where I started one while it was connected to the other, and I had not started the second one, and even at speed step 3 or 4, it just very easily pulled the non-running locomotive that was behind it. It didn't. I mean, it didn't struggle at all. It just, yanked it right with it with no problem. So there's still very good pullers and still very strong locomotives. So that was good to see. And as you can see, I've got some other locomotives and cars on the layout, and that's good. I finally put cars inside my not cars, but locomotives inside my roundhouse. And there's two C99 there are two Cottos in there. Let me not tell you exactly what the locomotive type is until I refresh my memory over here. I think it's the C99 4A, but don't quote me on that. It's two Cotto C44 9Ws. I parked them in there during another video, I do believe, or between videos at some point. And I parked them in there while using my turntable. I've come up with an idea in my head that I want to test, which would be really helpful to me, and that is to pull a Tesla and try to wirelessly transmit electricity. At the stopping points of these tracks. And if so, if I can get it to do it, put a little indicator light, LED, somewhere indicating that it's lined up. Because when I have a very long locomotive on there, like those are, and then there's one Union Pacific SD40-2 in there. And when they're that long, I can't tell that the tracks are lined up. Because I can't see them in the front and I can't see them in the back. The locomotives hang over the turntable. So the idea is to see if I can set something up that will indicate to me visually that they're lined up, even though there's a locomotive sitting there. And to do it, I need to be able to line them up without a physical electrical connection. And once that connection is made, I need the LED to come on. So, don't know if it's doable. I haven't tested it. I'll test that gap electrical air transmission via magnets long before I try to put the LEDs into the layout, only because I did that almost 8 years or so ago, and it's pretty much done. So anyway, enough about that. And that's a Bachmann EMD E8 in the Southern paint scheme right there. And here we go. We're getting close. So we know that it will go around the loop. It'll go downtown. It'll come back up and remain tethered together. So that is good. So I'm going to go past here. We're going to slow it down a little bit. And then I'm going to try to connect my Crescent Limited passenger cars. And I'll be honest, I do not remember, without checking my notes, whether or not they run successfully on this layout or not. So, we will just have to find out together. Okay? And I'm just going to use the sound on the rear locomotive to indicate that I'm backing up. Now, because that is a curve, they also may not connect. I may have to manually wrap myself around there and make sure they are connected. I may also have to cheat and pull passenger cars backwards a little bit to allow the couplers an opportunity to line up. Okay, it should be hitting. Did a couple of clank. I'm going to test it by moving forward to see if they made a connection, because I can't see it. If the answer is no, well, it's pulling it. Nope, not a good connection. Okay, so I'm going to pull the cars backwards this time as it tries to make a connection, and I'll see if I can manually get it into a state that allows it to connect a little better. Maybe. Oops. Let's hope that was back here. But I heard something that might have sounded like a derailment, so bear with me. I know we're a little over 20 minutes right now. Oh, that was up front there. Okay, so it's my bad. That definitely happened because of my re-railer. Let's do this. Put it on 2. And let me pull it back until it's straight. Let me try to save this car. Just derailed. Okay. It's back here at a point where I can see it, so speed it up a little. Okay. Looks like it's touching. Delayed couple of clank there. Okay. The sound effects. Getting a closer look. They are connected at the moment, if you can see that. Okay. So we will reverse it. 2 toots on the horn, both of them. And hit the bell for both of them. Okay, we'll stay up top for at least one loop. 23 minutes. Okay, bell's off. Again, we're at 6 speed steps currently. Seven. So far, pretty good. And I see that there's some styrofoam hanging off of the second passenger car there. Let's see if I can brush that off as it comes by. Okay, again, so far very good. And these are Rivarossi passenger cars. 3 sets of 4. I think it's the A set that is duplicated, and then 1 B set. Okay, so let's head downtown. They did come apart. I want to double check a little bit here, see what's going on, make sure. Yeah, that bumbles a little bit. It's because looks like the coupler pin hits. I'll stop it for a second. All right. Push everything back. I'm going to pause it for just a moment. Okay. I curled that coupler up a little bit more simply because right here, even on the re-railer, it was actually hitting the re-railer. So I went ahead and curled it up a little bit more so that it's elevated. You can see that now. It is not hitting the top of the re-railer. So we'll continue on. We're at 6 speed steps or 7. They bobble a little bit. These have metal wheels. Some of them do. I have to double check. There might be 1 or 2 sets that have plastic wheels, but at least the sleeper car definitely has metal wheels. I paid attention to that one. Not 100% sure about the rest of them. All right, so again, so far very good. Things are running well. I'm going to check to be sure we're still downtown. Looks like we are. And I'll stay downtown for 1 full run around the bottom loop. And then we'll head back up. And when I come back up, I am going to head back up underneath the hilltop the first time. Again, running very well. Okay, looks good. So I'm going to open up this turnout. All right. And then when it comes back around, it will go up the layout. While it is doing that, I'm going to work on loading up the next batch of trains. Bear with me. I'm going to try to do this one-handed while keeping the cell phone angled somewhat in the direction of the trains. Okay, these all appear to have metal wheels. At least the baggage car does. So this is the second A set. Now the only car that has a knuckle coupler on it is the first A set baggage car. Everything else has a horn hook coupler on it. And that's by design for me. I left it that way. Because I have some locomotives that I alternatively was using to pull this set of cars that have horn hook couplers on them. And so when that becomes necessary, I can still pull up to 11 of the passenger cars. I just leave off the first baggage car since it's a transition car. It has one hook and horn hook coupler on one side and a knuckle coupler on the other side. And it is a McHenry knuckle coupler. Now, we have a guy in our club who uses shelf couplers. I haven't looked those up yet, but I believe they're Katie shelf couplers, and apparently they're a little bit better. He thinks, because one of the things that happened this year when trying to run this set on the club's layout over at the Southern Christmas Show, and we do have separation down there. I can see that. I'll try to fix that a little bit later. I hear a lot of popping. Okay, I'm gonna pause this for a second because I'm having trouble getting the second car out of the styrofoam. Okay. So when I come back, the train will have advanced a little bit. Okay. I went ahead and reconnected them, as well as opened up the third pack, the B pack, so that when I'm ready to stage them and put them on the tracks, I can do that without having to pull them out. Okay, so to get these connected, I am going to try to get these connected somewhat just past the turnout. They're horn hook couplers, so they should be able to make a connection. I do see that it looks like they are hitting the ties, the little trip pins for the horn hook couplers. I just saw it bobbling up and down, so it's very possible that they are hitting the tracks. I need to check to see if that turnout over there is open or closed. It was closed, which is what it should have been. Let me push them together, cheat a little bit here, and see if we can make a connection. Looks golden, so away we go. Now, as you can see, I don't think I'm going to be able to get all 4 of the additional cars on there. The tail end here, that's 8 cars. I might can get 2 more, possibly 3. We'll see. In fact, since it's sitting there, let me go ahead and add the RPO car. And it looks like these are metal wheels as well, so it could be that I lucked up and I have metal wheels on all of these Rivarossi sets, but they're metal wheels with plastic axles, I do believe. They are. And so lighting the cars needs to be a really ingenious method, one that's low friction. And I have a set of Orient Express cars that didn't pull that off too well. In fact, the friction against the wheels is so great that even some original lifelike proto locomotives are having trouble pulling just 4 of those. So whatever method I choose to use, it's going to have to be different from what the original owner of those passenger cars used. Okay, so you can see, I think I have enough room for maybe 1 more car tops. So it'll be the observation car that I put on here. Okay. So instead of being able to pull 12, I can pull 11 cars when double-headed with these E8 locomotives. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that and see how things work out. So again, I'm going to definitely be watching it right here. It's already come apart. And a moment ago, as I looked at the knuckle couplers, now these are these lifelike Proto Max couplers. They're not as good as Katie couplers, I don't think. So I guess my next thing is to try Katie couplers to see if, number one, they will stay coupled longer. But there you have it, an 11 car consist, 2 Southern EMD E8 locomotives by Walthers, the Walthers Proto. And 11 Rivarossi heavyweight passenger cars. All with interiors, no lighting. Of course, the RPO car doesn't look like it has any interior, and neither does the baggage car. But other than that, they're an impressive set of cars, and I live here in North Carolina, and I gave it some thought one day, and it was like, you know what, it does not make any sense to build up a full fleet of Norfolk Southern locomotives and include all of the heritage units and then not have any of the previous fallen flag locomotives. So or some of their trains. And as you can imagine, I'm impressed with, or I like, passenger sets. So I set out about 2 or 3 years ago to start collecting this set of passenger cars. So accomplished that, and with the help of a friend, we've accomplished a good set of pulling locomotives. Although that one right there, I did purchase it a little while ago, and it has not yet been used to successfully attempt to pull this lot. That's a Bachman right there. The first attempt was going to be at the Southern Christmas Show, but I had not programmed it, and another gentleman had his brand new locomotive there, running his trains, and he had beat me to getting them on the tracks, and he had not programmed his. So as you are aware, right out of the box, most, if not all, NMRA standard TCC locomotives come programmed to road number 3. And as a result of that, we couldn't both run at the same time with his on 3. Okay, so there we have it. I tell you what I am going to do to try to get us a little bit of speed. I know I'm approaching 45 minutes, so this is going to be a video that takes forever to be uploaded. So I'll stay up on the top here for one loop, but I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit. Just make sure I'm not going downtown. Okay, give it just a little bit of juice. They're separated. Go figure. All right, so the one locomotive has a little trouble, and I think what's happening is the Protomax coupler is just not strong enough for the two of them to be connected together. So at least a little bit of resistance. The coupler toggles by moving up or down and loses a connection. So that's what I suspect is going on. So I'm going to pause it while I put these two guys back together, and we'll see if they can fake it around the top. And by faking it, I mean fake the connection and keep the connection connected for 1 or 2 relatively faster loops around the top. Then we'll go down one more time, and then we'll try to come up on the inside loop on the inside of my passenger station there, and then in this video. So my apologies for the length of the video, but it takes a while to make this happen. Okay, 9 speed steps now. $13, $14. Good so far, everything's staying together. Looks good, sounds good. All right, they did separate. Okay, so here's what I'm going to try right here. I'm going to stop it again. Okay, I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to turn the locomotives around so that they're forward to forward, and we'll see if they can stay connected while pulling this consist. So hold on. Okay, I put them forward, both in both directions, reprogrammed the consist. So here we go. Six speed steps. 7, 8, 9, still together so far. Okay, good. 10, 11, 12 speed steps. That's about as fast as I care to go. And now start to slow it down. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and now we'll head downtown. And when we come back up, we're going to come back up on the inside loop. Slowing down one more speed step to 5. And should let it go around at least once on the lower level. Well, so much for that. I looked over there, I thought I switched it the right way, but apparently I didn't. So let's make sure number 2 is switched properly. Now that'll be a whole lot better when I connect up my lights for my turnouts. Okay, and we're going to let it stretch out one more time when it comes out of this, so it's not such a tight turn to go right back down onto itself. And I will switch the lower track this time. Okay, it's switched to say downtown once we get back down there. And we'll probably be roughly about 55 minutes or so when we end this video. And I want to get one more corner picture here. And you would think I could kick up a little speed on the lower loop. I might give it a small whirl. It might go to, let's go to maybe 8. Living dangerously. The amount of weight that's on this consists, if I hit something, it's a bad day. So let me double check. Let me let it go through here slowly first. Make sure no cars are hitting anywhere. Okay, looks good. All right, so seven, 8, 9, 10 speed steps. Slow it down a little bit here because a derailment tears stuff up. Okay, I mean, it'll really, if it hits anything, something's breaking. It's breaking hard. All right, so that worked out well. So again, we'll come up the inside loop. We're at 53 minutes and all goes well. Maybe 55, 56, possibly 57 minutes, and this video will be over. Thank you for watching. I can't tell you exactly when this will get posted. It'll take a long time just for it to get uploaded to Google. Then I have to download it and then eventually re-upload it to YouTube and then make it available on my website. So it successfully runs. So in the future, this same consist, I will run it at either a Christmas show and or possibly during the summer at North Carolina Transportation Museum. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to crank it down just a tiny bit. Okay, start the bell ringing. Okay. And move it so that the coach car sitting right in front of the passenger station, and that, my friend, is going to be the end of this video. And I will repackage everything up, including the newbies, and that will be it for this year. Or maybe I should say the end of the 2025 year. Okay, that's one speed step. And there she blows. Okay. Bells off. And shutdown sequence. "55, 56 minutes. A few more seconds. So she shuts down. Okay, again, thank you very much. Lots of appreciation to the gentleman that gifted these two locomotives. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. And it has made a solid statement out of the Crescent Limited passenger car set. And so that is a done deal now. I have more than what I need to run this set whenever necessary, both with diesels and steam locomotives. So thank you very much. That's a wrap.